Chappell's done a nice job for him. He really has, and they made that commitment, you know, a year ago, and it's, I think, paid off for him. And then they've got some big play guys, the running back, the receiver. Fisher's moved over to the defensive side now. He's done a great job in the return game, you know, so they're still taking advantage of his explosiveness. And their kick return team is just outstanding. And you know, it seems like they've been that way for a while. Remember when Thick Ben was back there, you know, he really had it going pretty good too. So you know, they're doing the same thing right now.
How do you keep injured players as part of the team, like Richardson and Robinson? What would you do?
It's hard, and you know, it's just so. You know, you can say things, you can do things, but at the bottom line is it's just a lousy feeling. Anybody that misses time with injuries, it's not that they're not part of the team, but you have that feeling when you're that individual, like, you know, I'm removed from things. So there's not much we can do. We try to keep the injured guys close, certainly, and I think our you know, I mean, the bottom line is most guys before they get through a career, they miss time planned because of injuries. So I think, you know, at least the guys that have gone down that road are sensitive to it, and they try to keep the guys' spirits up. And you know, Tony had brought Dace a you know, bag of food Sunday night by the time I got over there. So I mean, you know, they look out for each other, and I think they do a good job over in their apartments and the door and that type of thing too. But it's still tough. It's just it's a sad part about the game. It'd be a great game if guys never got injured. Won't be football, I guess, but it'd be a great game.
A little bit about Curlew. He seems like he's been there as long as James Hardy was there, and it's
Yeah.
just like forever and ever. And what does he bring, and what can you tell about him?
He's just he's not the same as you know, number 50 2 weeks ago, but he's just he's a very active. He used to be undersized. I wouldn't call him undersized now. He used to be on the light side, but he's matured. He's a senior now. He's very active. He's got you know, more than one trick in his bag of pass rushes, those types of things, and plays with a high motor, good effort. So it gives you a chance. That's what, you know, usually good D linemen are guys that just keep coming, keep working on you.
See one across Kyle?
Yeah, they'll move them around though. They'll move their guys around a little bit. They've done a little bit of that. Yeah, on third down. They've done a little of that. Try to get a mismatch. They'll show up on both sides of the ball.
A little bit about it being a tough month here in October. I don't think anybody would argue that. But how impressed have you been? I know this has been a theme like throughout the 8 games, but just in the last 4 games in October, the variety of ways in which this team has won.
Yeah, we're you know, we're not the most gifted team, and you know, as far as, I don't know if we're going to win any track meets or combine events, that type of thing, but the guys have really played well together, and they've played through tough situations, whether it be the injuries, you know, with other younger players stepping up, and then through tough situations, and we've seemed to find ourselves in those every now and then, like every Saturday. But it doesn't seem to matter what the situation is. The guys, they stick together, they play hard, and they finish the game. And that's, you know, when you do that, you have a chance. I mean, there's no guarantees, but you know, at least you give yourself a chance to have success. And I think our guys understand that. And they play pretty clean football. I mean, you know, we haven't done a lot to really just you know, make it insurmountable. The chance is insurmountable for us, and that's a big part of winning, especially the way we're built. You know, we're not one of those Oklahoma teams from the 80s or 70s, you know, where they had, you know, 6 deep at running back and all that kind of stuff. You know, I remember growing up, you know, some of those teams just had so much talent, it was ridiculous. And you know, we're not endowed that way. But we got good players. I'm not complaining. I mean, you know, I like our players a lot, but you know, it gets a little scary when you start, you know, dipping down a little bit.
You talked about the craziness of the Michigan week and how, you know, on the road sometimes it's good just to get away. You're back at home now for 3 out of 4. What are the challenges of that?
Yeah, that's a downside. I mean, you know, it's easy to find us now. So, you know, but we just have to be proactive and try to, you know, keep everybody filtered a little bit, and, you know, just be smart about what we do. Don't do that type of thing. And you know, if we continue to win, I can tell you from experience there too, it creates more chaos. You know, we went through that in 2002, so that's a downside of winning. But if that's a downside, we'll hopefully have to deal with it. We'll see.
Is it possible to be a starter on any football team at any level and not be athletic or an athlete?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not a great thing, but it's yeah, I think you know, and I mean, to be an athlete, you got to be an athlete. I mean, that's you know, you're not going to find me on a good team, a guy like me. But there's levels of, and I think that's like, you know, you get back into speed. There's football speed, and then there's, you know, speed. You'd always rather have a guy that has good football speed, and there's so much that goes involved in with that. And the instinct's part of it. I think that's maybe not the best word, because I think you know, how you react to situations, you can really improve that ability as a player if you'll put yourself in those situations and study film and give yourself an edge. I think all of our, you know, I've read articles written from some of the guys that have really played well that have come through here. Sean Considine comes to mind. You know, the older guys learned, you know, how to maybe neutralize some things, you know, and so you're playing one of those guys from, you know, the first round draft picks from Michigan, the receivers that they've had. You know, you kind of learn how to neutralize some of the advantages that they have physically, and you know, smart players will do that. They'll try to get the edge that way, and experienced players learn that that's an important thing, and that's something younger players usually have to learn. Some never learn.
I ask because I've heard and read a lot nationally about how unathletic this Iowa team is. Would you tell them that?
Yeah, I mean, you know, by relative to some people, but you know, we've had a couple players go on and play okay after they came through here. So I mean, we've had our share of guys, but we would probably, you know, we just don't have it takes longer for our guys to get to that level typically. And, you know, we don't have a lot of guys walk in here out of high school that are, you know, ready to go. And our guys tend to get there. It takes a little longer, but you know, we've had some guys make it, certainly.
What do you make of the,
Don't mind having a few of them back.
you guys are number one in the computers, and the humans are ranking you behind everybody. I mean, what do you make of the lack of respect?
Computers haven't seen us play. You know, if they had eyes and could see us play, they'd say, you know, are you kidding me? But, you know, the idea is to be there at the end, you know, and that's like the other night, you know, we were still standing after the whistle went off, and you know, we took right down to the last 2 seconds. But if you can make it, you know, to the end and be standing, that's the idea. That's all we're really worried about. So I don't understand any of that stuff. And I swear to God, I know it seems like the last 2 or 3 years this has all become you know, they've been talking about the formulas and reshaping them and all that. And, you know, like 2 years ago, as you might well imagine, I could care less what was going on, you know, way at the top. And, you know, last year we were just trying to win every game, and we're kind of same mode right now. So, you know, if we end up getting the short end, you know, I just know this, again, I don't think globally. I think Auburn's the only one that really had a real legitimate argument, you know, whatever year that was. And, you know, so, you know, at the end of the day, you probably get what you deserve. Probably not, you know, there's always